What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video, and this time we are taking a look at what is autism from a spiritual perspective. Now, let me give a quick PSA, a couple things. One, I'm not a medical professional. I don't know shit about medical. I mean, I know some shit, but I'm not a medical professional. Number two, I kept getting this message from Spirit since I knew we were going to do this reading. We are not going to be able to cover every single reason for every single specific type. So they're giving me this vibe of like, we're going to be giving you general messages, but it's not going to cover, because it feels like it's just like every soul contract. It's dedicated to the person. So this might not cover, like, how do I word this, Spirit? Autism is like a whole, like I'm seeing a rainbow, and it's like, how can we cover every single color of the rainbow in one video? That's kind of the vibe here. So, you know, if there's more questions and we need to do a part 2, I'm totally open to that. Also, please know that I have no idea what the hell is going to come out of my mouth. And I understand that autism is a sensitive subject. That being said, what the fuck I'm going to channel? Like, I don't know. So please understand that my intention with this video is to just maybe bring ease to people's minds. My intention is to make sense of things that we don't understand. My intention is not to cause any pain or make anyone's lives more difficult. It's simply so that maybe we can get a better understanding to either help these people or just get it. So I feel like that's everything I should probably say, right? So without wasting any more time, I want to just get into the cards, but I want to do a general message, and I actually want to do it with charms today. So we're going to do that. So for my besties that like the general messages, stick around. And for those of you that want to get straight into the reading, go ahead down to the timestamps. You can book a reading with me, thekarmicdf.com. Right now I am doing a wait list. I've already sent out emails, so please check your spam folder, because some people have been getting it through that. So, all right, Spirit team, what is a message that the collective needs to hear today? Oh, you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Y'all, sorry, it is like 5 in the morning. I'm tired. All right. 5? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Can you guys see this? So I have a tendency of looking down and not even... Floss twice. Okay. Floss is not literal, so don't worry about that. Dear, okay. Are some of you, okay. Some of you are looking for a soulmate. Some of you are worried about your financial freedom, your emotional freedom, your stability. I almost see you being like, this reminds me of like Bambi, like a deer in the headlights. What I'm being drawn to, especially for those of you that are single, you definitely have someone that is on your wavelength, that is going to meet you, but being drawn to the seahorse, it's in the water, right? The depth. So I feel like for those of you that are single specifically, if you've been struggling with relationships, the reason is people have not been able to meet you at your level. So right now it's like you're meant to be free with that horse there, because the innocence that you have, it needs to be kind of honed in, so that I feel like there's a lot of you that are empathic, sensitive, and stuff like that. And so you have a tendency to attract people that might manipulate that. Spirit's saying that, you know, this is for the single people. Your depth hasn't been able to be met by a lot of people. And so the reason that you're single for a while is because it's like you're supposed to solidify your sense of self so that you can meet someone who sees you for you, like out loud. Someone who gets you. That's kind of the vibe. So I don't know if some of you, especially with like Mercury retrograde coming around the corner, shadow's already here. If you're seeing this when I put it out, you might just be like, people don't get me. It's giving me, I'm hearing creep. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. But I know from my charms that there's a second one to this. So it's like, while this little seahorse is unique and it's a water creature, and we got 2 animals here, you're a water creature. You know what I mean? You're an empath, you're sensitive, you're just different, you know what I mean? And so you need someone who's just as unique and different. So this is just a message from Spirit about love, I guess, that we're building, and even connections with friendships too, right? It's like, I feel like a lot of people that are watching this don't feel seen by others. You are supposed to make this shield to figure out who you are so that you can share it with other people. I hope this is making sense. I'm also being drawn to the fact that the floss gets like the nitty gritty. So I think like maybe some of you have been doing shadow work, or some of you have been releasing, and it's like, we're getting down to the roots. I'm hearing into the thick of it. so that we can no longer be the lost deer in the headlights and feel like we are this strong, brave, like I'm hearing the song, I am the warrior. So I feel like whatever healing you might have been doing, I'm also being drawn to the fact that seahorses are in water. So maybe some of you have been crying and releasing lately, but it's just giving me this vibe of like, whatever we're doing, we're solidifying our sense of self, which is going to help us be in alignment with people, places, and things that are better for us. So if we've been releasing people, places, situations that we don't like, new, bigger, better, brighter is coming in. Definitely love. I feel love. I feel like some of you might be meeting someone within the next year that's actually significant. I don't know why, but I could feel that for some of you. I'll only take that if it resonates. But if you're in a relationship, then this would be like other connections and stuff like that. It's basically just giving me this vibe of like, we used to feel like we were like Bambi, like we needed someone. Yeah, I'm hearing somebody to love, but that doesn't necessarily mean relationship. And it's like, we had to learn that we could be free on our own and be our own hero, our own savior. Because notice how there's no knight on this. It's reminding me of the Knight of Swords, but there's no knight. It's just the horse, because we realized that we didn't need someone. Why isn't this focusing? What the fuck? Whatever. You get the point. There we go. Oh, come on. You get the point. So it's like your freedom is coming, but it requires you to honor the fact that you're different. Like I'm hearing the song, I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. And it's like, it's your innocence that makes you, yeah, that's what makes you beautiful. It's your innocence that makes you beautiful. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong, because it's real easy to be mean. It's real easy to use your pain as an excuse to inflict on other people. It's easy to be a victim turned villain. What's not easy is using your pain as armor to go on and help others and see light through a different set of eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like growing through pain, not making it your story. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like freedom is just around the corner. Whatever it is that you're trying to, you know, manifest or bring in, maybe it's a new job, maybe it's new friendships, new opportunities, whatever it is, it feels like we're bringing in our soul tribe, if you're into that, or we're just bringing in people that get us, that truly get us, where we can really share our vulnerabilities and not feel judged. So I think a lot of you are manifesting people, or just you're going to be meeting people within the next 6 months to a year, depending on when you see this, that are going to get you. So keep solidifying who you truly are instead of, you know, people pleasing, because I feel like we might have some people pleasers. Hey, it's me. Hi, I was the problem too. But I just keep being drawn to how this seahorse looks like it has a lot of armor on it. So it's like, it almost gives me this vibe of like armor from the things that we've been through. It's giving me notches. Notice how there's like multiple little lines on his stomach. So it's like, I've been through that. I've been through that. I've been through that, but it never changed me and it made me more beautiful. That's kind of the vibe here. So it's like, I think we need a perspective change. Not right away, you know, honor your feelings, honor your sadness, honor your anger. But eventually I think you're going to see it as like, yeah, I'm hearing the line from Thank You Next, where it's like, look what you've taught me. And for that, I say thank you next. So maybe this is kind of a warning with Mercury retrograde around the corner. Like, remember that there's a point to all pain. You know what I mean? I know I'm grieving, so I don't even want to hear y'all in the comments bitch at me about that sentence. There's always a point for the pain. There's always a reason for the storm. It always empowers us, emboldens us. It makes us stronger. It makes us better. I keep hearing the song, you make me better. And the more you embrace who you are and honor that, the more you're going to be a magnet for things, people, places that resonate with you. So I'm going to leave that there. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the little charm message reading. But without further ado, besties, let's get into the cards. All right. So as always, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Smash that subscribe button, bestie. We cover freaking everything. And let me know in the comments if you like these types of videos, because these videos obviously just don't do as good as, say, Taylor Swift. So if you are into this, even as much as like throwing an emoji in the comments so more people can see this video, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate that. All right. What is autism from a spiritual perspective? I already have messages coming in, and I know I'm going to piss some people off. So I am being drawn to, oh God, we're really just going to start with that. I really didn't want to start with that. They've been telling me this since this one was popular, and I was like, Spirit, I don't know how I'm going to tell these people that. Mercury, 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 Mercury. That's what I keep hearing. Mercury, Mercury, Mercury. Is there Mercury in the... fuck. I really got to say this. We're just going to start with that. This is not all of them. Remember, we can't... This is not every single person. I'm going to get a myriad of answers, okay? This is one of many, but I'm being drawn to it. I've been drawn to it since I posted this poll. fuck, really? There's nothing we can do about this. Like, that's the problem. But there is something, and I feel like we're going to find out about this in future years. I don't think it's going to be now, because what I'm seeing is like, have you been exposed to blah, blah, blah? You may be entitled to compensation. So I'm going to be honest. Oh, fuck, how do I word this without getting shmishmanishmized? You know how after you have a baby, you go to the doctor and they give that baby 5 things that resemble this, and it pierces the skin and it puts medication into the body. What I'm seeing is rise in big farm and unnecessary is what I keep hearing. Unnecessary, unnecessary, unnecessary. And I keep being drawn to things like polio. Do we have shots for polio still? I really don't know. I haven't been a baby in a long time. But I'm going to be honest, there is a percentage that is, and I keep seeing them like wiping it away from the internet, but there has been settlements in the past. There's something about the fact that we don't need to be, I'm sorry, I'm so fucking sorry, but we don't need, because what I'm seeing is like, I'm seeing baby and I'm hearing immune system, and it's like, baby never gets to develop immune system. Baby never gets to develop immune system. Baby is infected the day it's born. That's not normal. Like spirit, I'm in spirit's energy and I'm like, this is not okay. Why are you introducing like 1574? Like, it's just, I'm sorry. I just feel like in the upcoming years, we're going to find out that I just keep hearing cash grab. And I'm being drawn to the, like, this is a fact that like America, and there's like another country, I forget which one, we allow it, but other countries, it's banned to like promote medications like it's a product for a reason. So I do think America specifically, maybe other countries, I can't speak for other countries, but there's something about when you're a baby and you're born and you get those, that you're playing Russian roulette is what I'm hearing. Like I'm seeing a gun with 1 bullet and it's like too young, too young, too young. Like that's the vibe. It's like you're introducing shit that doesn't need to be put into the system because Big Farm's gotten out of hand. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. That's one thing. All right, move on. We're just going to move on. I know I'm so not reading the comments today. Fuck that. All right. Other than that, Spirit, I knew you wanted to talk about that. Okay, there's another thing coming through, Asperger's. Again, remember, this, what I'm hearing is like we're grouping. This is not going to cover everybody. Please understand that. I'm being drawn to Asperger's. I'm hearing not wrong, different. Not wrong, different. And I'm being drawn to like social cues. It's like humans made up social cues. There's nothing wrong with not understanding those social cues. Like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from their energy. It's like people with Asperger's are not broken. They're different. And our system is designed to make us feel like we're all the same. And that's why so many of us fail. So that's kind of just a message in general. Because in their energy, I'm like, Asperger's is beautiful. Like it's just a different type of personality. There's nothing wrong with them. The problem is the society we live in does not branch out for different types of people to thrive. It's like a one system that's not prudent to the evolution of humanity as a whole is what I just heard. It's like our schooling system fails us and our medical fails us and we just get failed in every avenue. So it's like a lot of the, and then I'm also being drawn to like, okay, please don't yell at me. This is just channeling coming through. I'm being drawn to this movie. I don't remember what it's called. I'm going to be honest with you, but there's this like drunk guy and he goes to this grocery store and there's this kid that has autism that works there. Sweetest thing in the world. And the whole premise of the whole movie is like this, he gets into a friendship with the kid with autism and he ends up like basically kind of like adopting him and realizing that like that's the joy he needed. I feel like there are also people that have autism that come into this world to be a reflection of pure love. And so again, what I'm hearing is not broken, different. Our system needs to put people in places in boxes, and this is why we think that people are broken when in reality they're different. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've had this happen where like you go to a grocery store and there's that person that's bagging that they gave them a chance and they're autistic and they're friendly as fuck and like you can't help but smile and leave. I see it. They're showing it to me in a metaphor, but it's like God is placing little droplets of love in areas where it's needed most. So again, autism from their perspective is seen as different, not broken. So I don't know if that's a specific type of autism. I don't know a lot about this, but I am being drawn to that. If you can pick up like the type of person that, you know, like they just, the ones that just, I don't know enough about it. The ones that are like really friendly and you could tell that they're like I guess, missing a chromosome or whatever the hell it is. But in spirit's energy, it's like there's supposed to be little droplets of love. Like, think of like a golden retriever, right? Like, just so much love. It's like they're supposed to be reminders of love to humanity. They're not broken. They're different. So, okay, that's coming out. All right, let's get into the cards. Let's see. All right, what is autism from a spiritual perspective? All right, Spirit, tap me into this. Well, there's definitely something about, like, in the formative, like, in the birth, like, during, you can tell I don't have kids, during pregnancy, something doesn't fully form. I think that's where we're talking about, like, chromosomes and stuff like that. But it's, like, there's something here where it's, like, I don't know how to describe this. It's so weird. Well, I just keep feeling the need to say, like, what we think is broken is different. It's just not... Like, I know that there are people with difficulties with autism, obviously, which is why I am being drawn to, like, something happening in the womb where, like, it just doesn't... It's reminding me of when we did the schizophrenia video where it was, like, it's not fully formed, which is why they can, like, see through the veil. I highly recommend watching the schizophrenia video. It's really good. Again, there's something here where it's, like, wasn't fully developed in the womb the way it was supposed to. Per human. That's what I'm hearing. Per human, not per soul contract, per human. Because in spirit's mind, it's like you signed up to be autistic. Like, that's everything that we are right now, we signed up for that. So it's more like on the human scale, something goes wrong in the womb where it's like it doesn't fully develop the way the humans want it to. That's what I'm hearing. This sounds so fucking weird. I'm so sorry. But I can't help what comes out. But it's almost meant to, like, impact the family around them. It's almost like, you know how, like, for instance, empaths being put into, like, tumultuous home lives, it's kind of that same vibe. So I can't speak for anyone specifically, but there's something here about, like, they're drawing me specifically to, like, the people with autism that, you know, they're a little bit slow, they're friendly, they don't really understand the cues. It's like the reason they're meant to be like that is they're supposed to, like, bring light to the people around them to help them grow emotionally. Because it's like, with the way, because I'm being zoomed out. And it's like right now, narcissistic tendencies at an all-time high. People being able to have hearty connections at an all-time low. So it's like they come in with their purity to either trigger or help evolve other people around them with that Knight of Cups. It's like society's gotten complacent with not dealing with their emotions, with not dealing with the ebbs and flows of human evolution. And so it's almost like some of these autistic people are, like, placed in environments that are supposed to help raise this is going to be so woo-woo, I'm sorry, but it's supposed to help raise the collective consciousness of those around them. Like, I just keep being drawn to, like, that movie with Julia Roberts where she had a son where his face was deformed and it forced her to be more grown and, you know, empathetic. It's like they're kind of here to help other people around them learn how to be more understanding and nurturing and caring and empathetic and compassionate. That's kind of the vibe so far. Oop. Yeah, as the King of Cups flew out. Yeah. Okay. Okay, hold on. That was actually the back of the deck. Interesting. Okay, Spirit, what is autism from a spiritual lens? I'm telling you, Ace of Cups. I feel like, okay, I think that's why I went on a tangent about meds prior, because now we're going to get into the more spiritual aspect. I feel like, again, now I'm hearing the song, Where is the Love? So it's like, again, I just keep feeling the need to be like, not broken, different, not broken, different. And then I feel like Spirit's going to be, yeah, Spirit's like, there's going to be people that are going to argue, okay, but they have all these issues that they have to go through and all these limitations, and Spirit's like, okay, but do you not experience your own limitations though? Like, that's kind of the vibe that they're giving me. It's like, not broken, different. Like, for instance, creatives, right? We don't have schooling that really, unless you can afford expensive schooling, like, we don't have that ability. Or if you're talking about people with poverty, right? Like, they don't have the ability to just automatically have money. They have to, like, start from the bottom, you know what I mean? So it's like, there's something about autism where it's not broken, it's different. It's like it almost feels like they were brought in. The reason they're more prominent today is because of the lack of love in society. This is going to be so left field. I don't even know if you guys are going to enjoy this reading. Please let me know if you do. But there's something like the way society's headed right now, there's a lack of emotional depth and maturity and emotional intelligence. And it's like, for some reason, autistic people help people take a look at themselves. It's a really good reflection because it's like innocence, purity, just the way like, you know, making a, like, they're drawing me to like Justin Bieber. I know this is the only example I can give, right? Justin Bieber's getting hit with all this Diddy shit while he just had a baby. It's like a reflection of innocence in his face while he's getting hit with all of his triggers. So it's like, I personally feel like a lot of people with autism came down, why it's so prominent today is because the lack of love in humanity. It's almost like people with autism, because I'm being drawn to my friend with Asperger's, and that guy is the sweetest, most caring, most loving human being in the whole world. Like, I met that kid when I was in the bar scene. That's one of the only people I still talk to because he's, what you see is what you get. And we live in a humanity, society, whatever the fuck, where people just don't want to invest in anything emotional anymore. It's almost like we've gone cold and we only value physical, tangible things. And so while two things are happening simultaneously, there's an issue with medications in the formative years. I gotta say what I'm saying. But then also it's like the rise of it has to do with the lack of empathy from normal human beings. I hope this is making sense. Yeah, it's like we've gotten to the place where like we don't love one another fully. We abuse our power over each other. We see what's in it for me, what's in it for you. And so it's like, just like an empath will be put in a tumultuous environment to remind everybody else, like, you don't have to be hard, you don't have to go cold. It's kind of very similar with the autistic person. I knew this is why I had to give a PSA in the beginning. I'm not diminishing anybody's hardships as a result of autism. They're telling me why they're put on this planet. That does not negate that they've gone through a fuck ton of shit. I'm not negating that. Please, if you want to twist my words, that's up to you. I don't care. I can see it happening. It's just annoying because it's like, that's not me saying it. Okay. Yeah, it's almost like it's supposed to make y'all think differently. Five of Swords is all about conflict, and then the Hierophant reminds me of like the status quo. Look, it literally says unconventional thinking on this card. That's why they kept telling me the empath deck. It's like, I just keep feeling the need to just circle around and be like, not broken, different. Not broken, different. Different experience, different soul purpose. I also think one thing I'll say is I feel like the loving ones that I'm picking up on, the really like cute, sweet, innocent ones, I feel like they might either be like not from this earth or like newer souls because the purity is just so intense. Like, but they're supposed to help. It's almost like they're activators and you don't even realize it. They activate your potential. Like, I'm being drawn to things like you didn't expect it. You had a baby with autism. Then you got empowered. And then it was like, now you want to help people with autism. Now you want to speak out on it. It's like, it's designed to help the people around that person elevate, if that makes sense. Or y'all are just going to be like, what are you talking about? I don't know what to tell you. That's what's coming out. All right. How do I reword this? I don't know. I guess you guys are just going to tell me what they would need to hear. Okay, so continue. What is autism from a spiritual perspective? It feels like, I'm telling you, it's like something about us needing to grow as a collective, which is why it's so rampant right now. But it's like, what I'm seeing is like, it's a mixture of two things. It's soul contract to help humanity evolve. But then there's a second one where we went over it. The babies, shots, you see what I'm saying? We'll leave that alone. But it's also supposed to bring out the warrior in other people too. I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know you probably came to be like, I don't know if maybe some of you might suffer with autistic tendencies. I'm not sure. But I feel like you might have came here being like, wanting to focus on them. But in Spirit's energy, it's like the people with autism were meant to affect us. Yeah, they go through their own struggles. We all do. We all have a purpose. We all have a reason for why we're here and what we're supposed to, you know. Like I went from being a raging alcoholic, depressed as hell, to going on to help people realize that they don't have to be that way. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like everything can be our teacher, and it's like it's predestined. Like it's supposed to happen. There is a percentage where there's something medical going on, and I think we're going to see. I keep hearing mercury. Is there mercury in shots? I don't know. I don't fucking know, but I keep hearing mercury. I don't know if that's specific or if they're just trying to get me to be drawn to, like, what is it? The periodic table of elements. I always get that wrong when I'm channeling. I hope I said that right. But there is something there. I'm not going to lie, because I just keep being drawn to, like, I feel like this has already happened, but we might see it happen more. I'm hearing like within the next 10 years maybe, of like a lot of lawsuits coming out, parents being like, why am I putting this shit in my kid? My baby's 3 months old. Now it has this problem. What the F? Like that's kind of the vibe. I hear gross misuse of medications to pursue financial gains. And then I'm being drawn to that emperor here and the abundance on the tree. So it's like, yeah, because I keep being, like, does it bother you guys? Let me know if you live in America. Does it bother you? When you see commercials for people where it's like, now they have this medication you could take twice a month in the event that you might accidentally touch a peanut when you're allergic to it. And you can take this medication as early as like 1 year old. Like there is a gross misuse of medication. That's what I keep hearing. So there is something that I can't ignore it. I'm sorry. But then it just feels like those are the two main paths that Spirit wants to focus on. And I just keep hearing not broken, different. Not broken, different. And Spirit, like, all right, we're just going to say it. Go ahead. Your people like to put things into boxes to make it make sense. It was never meant to make sense. And that's why we limit ourselves and we limit our potential, because we want to understand things, which is beautiful, but we're trying to understand things that we don't need to understand while we are ignoring the things that we should be researching and understanding. Because it's like, what I'm seeing is like they're zooming me into the future. I feel like this would be like 50 plus years from now, where it's like, we're going to have a different world almost. This is a prediction, I guess. Because I see people being born and then almost like, they're showing me Harry Potter, but it's not that deep, where it's like, okay, you're empathic and you're creative, you're going to end up going down this route, so this is the path for you. And it's almost like maybe we have a different schooling system or something like that. And then it's like years down the road, we're going to have a better understanding of autism. And it's like there's going to be a school for that too. And it's like our current system does not help people that aren't willing to do the hustle and bustle of old school times, but we're not in old school time anymore. It's like our education system failing us, our understanding of medical failing us, especially in America and other countries that grow for profit, failing us. It's like we've lost sense of that, which is why there's two major contenders to autism that just keeps coming out. Medical fuck-ups, so that we can understand that in that lane, it's almost like that's designed for the parents to start fighting for freedom for their children, as well as to start challenging the status quo, because what do we care for more than anything else is our kids. So it's almost like there is some where it's like your kid was fine until some shots, and it's like it's designed so that the parents can start to research, become educated, and go on to help others. It's like, think of, that's the only way I know how to describe this. I'm going to piss off so many people. It's fine. Whatever. Please understand, I'm not trying to be offensive. Just understand that is not my intention. I'm trying to make that abundantly clear. So after you weaponize my words against me, I don't know what to tell you. I already said I didn't mean to harm. So yeah. But in Spirit's energy, it's like, this has to happen because humanity is just, I just heard you're only as strong as your weakest link. And I keep being drawn back to the Emperor card. So it's like, we're seeing society fall as we speak. Like, it's honestly a pretty cool time to be alive. So that's part of why the rise of autism is happening. It's a mixture to take back our power and challenge the status quo, because it's like, why do you guys fearmonger us? Why do you guys not have the information that we actually need? It's like, it's designed to help empower the people that are around these people with autism. So it's not so much about the person with autism, because it's almost like a lot of the people with autism are either newer souls or they're highly evolved from, I know some people aren't going to believe in this, but highly evolved from other planets. They're not necessarily quote unquote human. I know, I hear it. Starseed, if you believe in that. But it's like, it's designed, that soul can handle it because it doesn't know any different, right? Obviously, there's going to be different forms where people, you know, there's autism where like you freak out and shit like that. I feel like that leans more towards like medical potentially. But for the most part, people with autism are meant to affect change around the surrounding people. Yeah, it's like looking at things with a different perspective, with a bird's eye view. This would be like if your kid's struggling, now you're doing the research, and now you're like, hey, wait a minute, that's not normal. It's almost like the reason it's, I'm sorry, the reason that it's at an all-time high is to force humanity to evolve. I didn't see that coming. Yeah, independence, Nine of Pentacles. Ace of Wands, because we are not growing as a species. And look at that, King of Pentacles, because all we care about is money. And look at Hollywood, right? Like that speaks for itself. So I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point. I don't know how else to look into that. What about, should I look at Asperger's in particular, I guess? Holding on to old paradigms. Their lack of shame is supposed to inspire us. Because I just keep being drawn to my friend. Shout out Jesus. I don't know if you're going to see this. But he's just like a ball of joy. And like, even how do I word this? Should I just give an example, Spirit? Yeah, that'll do. Okay. So I have a friend. His name's Jesus. Hi, Jesus, if somehow you're seeing this. Beautiful soul. I used to go hang out with him at the bar. We used to sing together. Great time. And sometimes people would like, that didn't understand, they would make fun of him. And I would just jump immediately to his defense. It's like it's designed to make us evolve, not them. It's designed to bring out the best in us. It's like, because think about the judgment card in reverse. It's like embarrassment, it's shame. And what about our society? We're holding on to old shit that just doesn't serve us anymore. So it's like these souls haven't been fucked up by the system, so to speak, and so it's supposed to wake us up. That's the only way I know how to describe this. It's supposed to make us evolve. That's the point. Yeah, it's supposed to make us think differently, think outside the box, understand things. It's really designed to make us grow. It's not really about the people with autism. I'm sure it is about hear me out. Like, yeah, and the things that we prioritize. Look at how in this Six of Wands, it's like, this reminds me of a concert. And what do we nowadays are finding out the people we worshipped are like literally the worst. So it's like, it's designed to make us wake up to our own internal power. It's reminding me of like the innocence, you know, like when you see an innocent child, an innocent animal, it's like, it brings something out in you that as a society we desperately need, but we just don't really lean into anymore. I hope that makes sense. I almost feel, yeah, it's supposed to make us grow, especially the family unit. It's supposed to make the family grow. And I don't think that this, again, I just feel the need to keep saying not broken, different, not broken, different. I want to re-pull real quick from the autism, from their energy, because this feels like why, but I want to see from their view. All right, so I want to look at this from the person that has to go through it, because I feel like they wanted us to understand the all-encompassing part. So as always, oh, Jesus, no, I'm not taking that. As always, thank you to everybody for listening to 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And please, even if you just leave an emoji, you know, if you guys want these readings to actually do well, they have to be viewed, you know what I mean? And people will click on Taylor Swift before they'll click on stuff like this, unfortunately. So, all right. From the, if I was autistic, Spirit Team, why? Like, what's the goal here? I just keep hearing bring love, spread love. I know a lot of people might not want to hear that. Okay, the past, the home life. I do think that there's going to be soul contracts, right? Where like you're coming into the family. Again, it's almost like, because look at the joy bringing onto this kid and think about like a war vet, right? Like this guy's been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then he's coming home to this beautiful face, like this joy. And it's like, it brings my heart back to life. So honestly, I think they're a gift for us. Now, this obviously isn't going to include the people that have autism that struggle a lot, right? But even then, those people that struggle, like you still can't have anything but empathy for them. So it's like, honestly, this reads to me like our society is losing itself, becoming apathetic to everything that they love because they don't even know what love is because we're constantly looking externally and we're forgetting what connection is. I'm being drawn to the fact that a lot of humanity right now prefers to fit in instead of figuring out who they are so they could find the people that are right for them, because 4 is home life and it's family and it's love and it's expansion. It reminds me of like Leo energy. So it's like we've kind of lost that. So I think it's in their soul contract to bring love back into the equation of the family that they get into or the environment they're surrounded by. So like, let's say, I don't know, the person with autism is born into a family that struggles with money, and then this will cause them to, you know, fight to point out the fact that it's like it's designed to help the people around them elevate. That's the only way I know how to describe this. Now remember, this is very intricate, so I can't cover every single form of autism. If this is something you struggle with, you want to book a private reading with me, we can figure out what your specific soul purpose is for that. But with all the green and him coming home, and then look at the joy on that kid's face, it's like they come for us. They come to remind us what love looks like. Like I just can't get the song "Where's the Love" out of my head. Yeah, it's like they're meant to make us look at things from a different perspective. You know what it reminds me of is like, again, going back to like those movies, and then like when I go to the grocery store and there's always that bag boy, it's like you're going through some shit and then they're in the grocery store and they're like, you have a beautiful smile. And it's like, oh my God, thank you so much. You're so pure. Like, oh, like I needed that. Like they're meant to bring love back into the equation. That's the only way I know how to describe this. Yeah, it's like it's supposed to bring joy back. We've gotten so disconnected from like the purity of love. Like it's like I'm in Spirit's energy, and it's like humanity's gotten to a place where it's like, what can you give me? What can I give you? That's not how love's supposed to be. It's supposed to be all encompassing. It's supposed to be like, I love you, you love me, I see you, you see me. We don't do that no more. So it's like the rise of autism is because, again, not broken. Look at all the red and pink on this card. And the solar plexus reminds me of yellow. So, well, solar plexus is yellow. So it's like, it's supposed to empower you, and it's supposed to make you tap into your heart space, and it's supposed to make you think differently. I do feel like they're brought into people's lives to change perspective. Even if, like, let's say they're born into a family where the family's really great to them, it might be the people around them. Or maybe, because I'm also seeing things where, like, maybe the parents are too innocent, and then, like, their kid gets bullied and it brings out that pack wolf energy in them. So it's like, I'm going to be honest, guys. I think it's designed for the family. I don't really feel like, I think the person with autism is just supposed to experience love. I feel like they're newer souls. At least to Earth, they're newer souls. Yeah, it's like letting go of the status quo. I think some people, okay, there is a rare few where, like, I got to point it out. There's a small percentage where, like, if you believe in reincarnation, you might have done someone wrong in a past life, so they're coming in to need you because in a past life, you might have failed them. I don't want to scare anybody. Don't take it if it doesn't resonate for you. If you have a kid that's going through something, don't go, oh my God, like I fucked them over in a past life. Don't do that to yourself. But there is something here about, like, with all reincarnation and stuff, it's like we swap roles. So there's something here about, like, there is an occasional, I think this is more of like toxic family dynamics being forced to face their toxicity by having someone so pure come in that they have to take care of. That's kind of the vibe. I feel like the whole point of autism as a whole is to bring us back to our heart space. Like I said, there's different categories of autism. I'm not downplaying that. They're focusing on the major contenders. Yeah, it's like to wrap up cyclical behavior on the earthly planet. Notice how they're, like, really leaning into each other. I mean, love like that really just isn't around anymore these days. I mean, I've only seen it once. So, twice. So, like, it's like they're meant to wrap up cycles for us. Honestly, it feels like, I don't know how spiritual all you are going to be since we're doing a mental health one, but it feels like starseed energy. It's like they're either new souls or they come from planets. I know, I hear it, but they come from different places where negativity and chaos and cruelty is just not in their makeup. And that's the whole point. That's why it's on the rise. It's like, bring love back. Like, I just can't get that out of my head. Bring love back. Bring love back to the planet. Bring love back to the planet. Bring love back. Bring love back. Say that 5 times fast. To the planet. All right. Spirit, for them, why? This is going right back to, like, manifesting change. I think this is also, yeah, it's like, because we have a society that says crying's weak, right? Which is fucking bullshit. And it's like it's supposed to trigger the people around you. Honestly, the more I try to pull, the more I'm like, I don't think, from Spirit's perspective, the autism person, there's nothing wrong with them. They're designed to make the people around them evolve. That doesn't mean they don't have a purpose. That's honestly a pretty beautiful purpose, right? Like, I never forgot the kid I'm talking about. Like, I still talk to him every once in a while, even though I haven't drank in 5 years, let alone been to the bar, you know what I mean? So it's like, they have a everlasting impact on you for the better. That's why. Even if it's painful, even if you're dealing with someone who's, you know, got so many issues that, you know, they're bedridden and stuff like that, it brings out your heart. It forces you to connect with your heart space when we live in a world where people no longer do that. So I feel like a lot of you are not going to like the answer, but it really feels very focused on those around the individual, not the individual itself. Because, like, all right, Spirit, let's put me in the energy. How about that? Okay. You put me on this planet. I have autism. Why? That's so funny. I got drawn to Bruce Almighty where she goes, there's the scene with, I'm sorry, I'm channeling, so I'm like not focused on the camera at all or anything. But she goes, so the children of the neighborhood will be happy? Like, that's the vibe. Like, I'm so sorry, but that's what I'm getting. It's like, that soul is a lot stronger than you give it credit for, even though it's struggling in the human experience, don't we all? But it's like, it's supposed to bring out the empathy in people. That's the only way I know how to describe it. It's like humanity's gotten lazy. They've gotten complacent. They don't really know how to tap into their own heart space. And so it's like, because we don't know how to tap into our hearts anymore, we need reminders of what love in its purest form looks like. So honestly, I'm in Spirit's energy and I'm like, these people with autism are a gift. They're not broken. They're a gift from us. Yeah, some of them are definitely going to struggle, but what is the human experience without struggle? We all struggle to some capacity, some worse than others. I mean, to those that are getting angry because I'm not sitting here saying they're struggling due to blah, 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 blah. What about sex trafficking people? You know, we have to understand that two things can be true. Something can be really painful in the human experience and not fair. Like, that's true. But when we leave this earthly realm, our ego's not invested in that anymore. So when we're doing a whole generalization here, most of autism, it feels like it splits into two. One, but the main energy still is like the fight for purity is kind of the energy in this. But also like the fight if you're the parent of one or the family member of one. It's almost like it ignites something in the people around him. Yeah, it's going back to like humanity's not growing emotionally. It's like our emotional intelligence is incredibly stunted because we don't have the systems we need to thrive. We have a system designed to make us fail. So it's like they come in to help you push yourself into a new beginning. And notice how like there's all this color. So it's like in that pain, it makes you invincible. You know what I mean? So if you have a family member that has autism and it makes you like, I'm being drawn to how like, I don't know. I don't know why I keep being drawn to the movie Blind Side, but it's a decent example because, you know, she takes on this boy that nobody wants. He's a person of color in a time where people don't love that. And it's like, it made her fight and it made her see the color as beauty, and it made her show the people around her that he was beautiful as he was, and that he wasn't broken even though he came from poverty. He wasn't broken even though his parents didn't want him. He wasn't broken just because he was a different color skin. So it's like people with autism are meant to expand our consciousness, if I'm being honest. And it's supposed to help the people around them have something to fight for, have love reflected back at them. But again, it's very dependent on the soul contract as well, because it's like if you have a child that, let's say, you know, we're going down the shots route, then, you know, the parents in this lifetime are supposed to, you know, really learn how to fight for their kid, fight for change. I'm also seeing like people being affected by it and then fighting to their local congressmen and then making like, because I'm being drawn to like, you know how like something will happen and then the justice system will be involved, and then it'll be like, oh, here's a good one. This is a bad example, but it's the only thing I come up with. You know the guy that did that show for missing kids, and he did it because his child was taken? That's the same type of energy. Adam Walsh, I think it was. It's the same vibe. It's like, would you have fought as hard in your life? Would you have been so passionate about something? Would you have wanted to educate yourself? Would you have wanted to grow this much had you not have had this person in your life? So it's like they're meant to help us evolve. They're meant to help us see the light in life again. That's why there's a rise of it right now. Damn. Yeah, it's like we're supposed to transition. And also notice how, again, going back to the fighting for the kids and stuff, so especially if you have a child with it, it's like this is going to make you stronger so that when these sharks come after you, you're fighting for that child. So it's like it helps you evolve. Honestly, I know this sounds kind of self-focused, but it's like they come down to help us. And in Spirit's energy, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with them. This is just how society works. Everybody has struggles, and they were put into specific positions to help us evolve. Like that, it's very matter of fact. I'm going to try pulling a couple more cards, guys, but I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse at this point. I feel like I said that wrong, and we shouldn't hurt animals, but okay. And then this is also reminding me of like, you know, them preying on your fucking kids. Like, have you taken this shot? Have you done this for your kid? Have you done that for your kid? It's like, it's supposed to wake you up to be like fighting for innocence, fighting for purity, fighting on behalf of purity. It's supposed to wake humanity up to what love is. They're supposed to embody love. That's really what it boils down to. It's supposed to help you get out of your fear. It's supposed to make you elevate yourself, speak your truth, fight for that person, create change. It's like, it's just drawing me back to like, when do we grow as a society? When do we grow? When shit gets bad. It's not like, a lot of us tend to get complacent, and that's kind of where we are in humanity right now. We got complacent with people telling us what life was supposed to be, what is right, what's wrong, left, right, green, blue, purple, whatever. And it's just like the rise of autism. I feel like some of it might be coincided with the meds, though. Like, I just keep being drawn to Mercury. There's something about, like, in the next at least 10 years, it's going to be a while, we're going to find out something about these shots being problematic to our development of our immune system. Like, I just keep hearing that. Sorry, not sorry, but it's what's coming out. This is reminding me of, like, needles. So it's like, that's supposed to be brought up as well. It's almost like the rise in it is supposed to make us question the world around us. Because look at us questioning the world around us right now. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, you guys are going, why is this happening? And that's going to help some parent go, all right, I need to talk to a doctor. What about this polio med that I gave my kid? Is that why my kid's struggling now? Is that what's going on? Like, it's supposed to empower the people around them. That's the only way I know how to describe this. What's the back deck energy? Yeah, it's like right now we're in a very pivotal moment in history where we have a choice to make, where we decide to empower ourselves, look behind the doors to figure out what those boogeymen are, instead of assuming that everybody else can figure it out for us. I feel like, I'm going to be honest, I hear spirit going, we've become lazy. We've given our power away to everything else because, frankly, we got too much stress to deal with. I mean, fuck, like if you were a millennial, you grew up with the 9/11 and we were all around for Michael Jackson's passing. I remember that. I remember where I was. You know what I mean? So it's like we've been through so much trauma, and instead of that empowering us, it made us rely even more on the people that are causing us trauma in the first place. So it's almost like from a bird's eye perspective, you can't change the people with autism because they're what humans would describe as off, but they're actually pure. And we need that purity to come back so that we can empower the people around us. Yeah, because shit needs to change. This would be like parents speaking out, screaming out, the family members, why is this happening to my child? We need to do more in terms of science. Why are we behind? Like, this is meant to evolve the human collection. Yeah, Seven of Swords in the reverse. It's like you're supposed to see things for what they really are. This is supposed to empower the people around. That's why the rise is happening. Look at that, the Judgment card. That's all about the public eye and empowering ourselves and educating ourselves. And with that karma necklace there, it's like there's something about, you know, having someone that you care about with autism that makes you go from this innocence to this fighter. Yeah, I'm hearing Christina Aguilera, fighter. So it's like this is going to help the people around you elevate. That's the only way I know how to describe it. I hope this makes sense. Let me know if you guys like this. I guess I could do a part 2, but you'd have to tell me what I need to focus on specifically, because I'm being drawn to like Asperger's in particular, and then like autism, but like I don't know a lot about autism. I'm just being drawn to the ones where like they're either super duper sweet, which shows the innocence, or the ones that like are so because I'm being drawn to ones that like they might be bedridden because they're going, I don't understand it. I'm just seeing it, so I'm just going to channel this through. But I'm seeing like a form of autism where you might be bedbound, and it's like, again, that's going to empower the family around them. So yeah, they are struggling, but again, I just keep being drawn back to, but who doesn't struggle? Everyone has a struggle. Like, this is a shitty struggle, sure, but then there's also, you know, there's Black people in poor neighborhoods that have to worry about getting shot when they walked out of their house. You know what I mean? So there's always a struggle. So zoom out for a second. These people are brought in to help you expand your heart and the collective consciousness of the world around us. That's why it's so prominent right now. So I'm going to leave it here, besties. The Karmic DF, if you want to book a private reading with me, but I'm going to just go back on vacation now. I hope that this helped. Let me know if it did in the comments. Let me know if you made it till the end. And let me know if you want me to hyper focus on something else specific or other mental health related videos as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I'm going to leave it here, besties. So have a wonderful day.